let's each throw out one little juicy tidbit of scoopage. All right, we'll save the rest for the
Okay.
end here. But give me one juicy bit of scoopage.
Well, I know, I have it on good authority that
So we, the gods of tone, have decided that we should probably talk about Namm. So what are your thoughts on the Namm show, right? I mean, everybody I think who is involved in any sort of recording is anticipating greatness in Namm. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. So I figure we should definitely discuss. So what do you think?
well, Namm. I remember Namm.
Choppers.
I still get flashbacks.
I tell you.
But you know what? Namm is. I've never been to Namm, and you know why I haven't never been to Namm? Because there's people there.
So
there are so many people in Namm. I went in 2019, and it was ridiculous. I mean, you're waiting in line after line just to get in, and the worst part of it is that you have to park. Like, the worst part of it is that they have the convention center is right across the street from Disneyland. So you can just imagine already how many people are packed into this density of like this area. And you have to park over at Angel Stadium, where the baseball stadium, and then get bussed over. So it's a whole process. It's like you have to go here and then wait in the line to get on the bus, and then when you get off the bus, you have to wait in the line to get in your pass, and then you get in, and then it's like there's 100,000 people, and it's like across like 5 miles of of stuff.
Oh,
And then it's sound systems blaring everywhere, and drums and guitars. It is like a cacophony of noise, and you can't demo anything, because you can't hear what stuff sounds like. So you're just there to shake hands and see what stuff looks like.
you got to take earplugs too, right?
You do, and then also the other thing about Namm is that it's well known that because of all the handshaking, and it's because it's flu season, that you can catch what they call Namthrax.
Namthrax. Everybody knows I know about Namthrax. Oh yeah.
So, and especially now with norovirus and everything else going on, I mean, now is not necessarily the handshaking time of year for most of us. So,
Let me try these new synths and stuff, and touch the escalators. I watched a bunch of videos of guys just saying, "Look, man, just don't touch anything. Just don't even when you go up the escalator, fall."
don't grab anything.
You're better off falling than grabbing the handrail anywhere at Namm. So yeah.
Yeah.
So I got to tell you that overall, right? I mean, I'm okay. We're going to talk about a few things, and we do have a few teasers. We have some news, some scoopage actually, I think. So
A little bit.
yeah, you have a couple. I just heard from somebody this morning. So I mean, so stick around. We got some stuff to talk about. So, but you know what? First and foremost, I think if you're into synths and hardware with knobs and stuff, Namm will be Nirvana for you this year. There's a lot of that. If you want to buy yet another version of the Fender Strat with a different name, that there are probably plenty of those. But if you want VO related gear, I think this is going to be like shopping for toilet paper during the pandemic. It's just going to be, the cupboard is going to be a little bare. So
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I was actually looking to see what VO related stuff I could find that's coming. It was barren wasteland of nothing.
yeah, exactly. So what I think our predictions for Namm, right? I think will influence the world. So I think we should talk about them.
All right.
So give me your first prediction for Namm.
Well, I'm a nerd, so I literally printed out some ideas. So some predictions. Well, you know what? I heard Behringer's back in the game. I know that they, for 10 years, haven't been at Namm, and they haven't done a lot of stuff. Not that I'm a big Behringer fan. Nothing against them except for some things I hear. But anyway, they're back, and they're I guess going to be unveiling some stuff. So I expect something kind of big from them. I also think that Shure is going to obviously debut a whole bunch of mics. I'm hearing through the grapevine perhaps 4 new microphones yeah.
Ooh, I like that. So,
Yeah.
the question always becomes, though, a lot of companies are pivoting, obviously, to content creators, bedroom producers, not necessarily the kind of stuff that I think that we're looking for on a higher, more professional level. And it's obvious that those markets are much bigger than the niche VO market. So it is a lot of times, they'll announce stuff and it's disappointing if you're looking for to expand your high end, your tone closet, as opposed to just picking up more utilitarian stuff. I honestly think that hardware is going to be a disappointment for the most part. I'm expecting to see more in-depth, like vocal processing tools. Like AI-enabled vocal processing tools, both for pro and content creator. I think that's where we're going to see the most interesting stuff for professional voiceover and for high-end content creation, is with AI-assisted stuff. I think that we're going to enter into an era where really AI is going to be the marketing buzzword that is going to be everywhere on everything, and possibly even including AI enabled modeling on microphones. So just be prepared. AI everything. So
you know what? I actually wrote that. I said I think that I predict there's going to be a bunch of AI stuff. Of course, yeah. Some things I wish to see more of. Like, for example, Neve came out with a kind of a hybrid interface that's kind of analog, digital, kind of, you're getting the best of both worlds. I was in it. I don't know. I think it costs about $43 million, but
Yeah.
right. So I thought, would be great is to see something that has that combines that analog and digital all in one, like some type of thing like that, and make it actually affordable, like for regular human people.
You know what? I would not be surprised, and I think that this falls under the category of what we hope to see. I think we're going to see more hardware controllers for recording. More little mini, basically little controllers that make you feel like you're working on a console. We're going to see. I think we're going to see more of that for pro and for the bedroom producers and for the lower level content creator market. Basically stuff in the sub $300 range. I think we're going to see a lot more of that stuff. But I agree. I would love to see some higher end stuff that really is hybrid enabled. And especially for example, Alicia has a channel strip that they debuted last year that they're still working on that is all analog, but you have the ability through their software to control everything and do, basically you can use it like a plugin, but it has the beauty of all that analog tone. So I think we're going to see more integrations between hardware and software for stuff like that.
That'd be nice. That'd be really nice.
Yeah, it would be nice. I know that Alicia box is probably going to be like $5,000 or something like that, so it's going to be a little out of reach. But I think you're going to see more of that over time.
Alicia is a great company. I've got a piece here that I've been playing with, man, and it's when you get to a certain level, right? You definitely see like the improvement in just the engineering, the design of it, the aesthetics of it. Everything is like at a much higher level. And, that's because they know that, they're achieving sonically what they want, but they want it to stand apart from the other stuff. So they make it look beautiful. It doesn't sound beautiful. It looks beautiful too. And I appreciate that because, a lot of gear just looks the same. So,
What? All right. So let's go from what you think is going to happen. What do you hope to see that you haven't heard anything about? What are you hoping? Like hopes and dreams.
I hope. You remember? Do you remember a long time ago when Universal Audio used to make great plugins?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because now they're putting out some stuff that it's I could take or leave. Right? I could leave mostly, and it would be great if they came out with some actual killer stuff again. But alas,
I honestly feel that Universal Audio is going to disappoint yet again. I mean, they just released, and they strategically did this. They just released their Gen 2 version of the Apollo, which is kind of a sod grade and not really an upgrade so much. And I think that you have not seen any new plugin development from them at all in years. All you've seen is like what was that, top-line vocal suite, just bedroom producer stuff that makes it a lot easier for someone who doesn't have a lot of experience to click a couple of things, click a couple of presets, and get a much better sound than they would just through the hardware. So it's simple solutions for bedroom producers, I think, is what they're really focusing on.
They're known for being more the pro stuff. Why are you going after that market? That's what Shure and the other companies do.
That's the thing. It's like if you look at the MI industry numbers, what happened with the pandemic really changed everything, because the amount of sales for basically prosumer gear is more than double of that of just the pro level gear. So it's really, it grows faster. That market grows faster than, the market for Vox boxes and U87s and, that stuff. So, that's why they're into it. And a lot of that gear, software is, you don't have to ship software in a shipping container across the sea. So a lot of companies are really focusing on that. They're focusing on, on budget gear. So budget gear that runs on chipsets where basically it's jack of all trades chipset, and you're not going to sound like you're recording at Peter Gabriel's Real World Studio, but it may sound a little bit better than you expect to get in your bedroom. So
right, yeah.
I'm hoping, I'm honestly hoping that finally that Neumann allows the functionality that's built into the MT48 so that people can buy the plugins from the merging plugin store, like the de-esser, which is supposed to be really great. So they haven't done that yet. They haven't enabled really the full functionality of it yet. So I'm hoping they announce that. I'm also hoping, and I really feel like there is definitely going to be more lightweight soundproofing solutions available. That we're going to see that are cheaper, that are better than just buying the foam. The $2 per panel pyramid foam that doesn't really do anything, but
it doesn't do anything.
It makes your room look like a studio, and it barely does anything. But I think we're going to see more innovative surfaces that are going to be available that are going to do more for basically noise for resonance mitigation. To fix your bedroom so that you can record in a space. And I do think we're also going to find more software solutions that will allow you to sound like you're recording in a studio from your bedroom or bathroom or anywhere. So,
of course.
So all right, I'll tell you what. Let's break this up. Let's talk about. Let's each throw out one little juicy tidbit of Scoopage. All right, we'll save the rest for the end here. But give me one juicy bit of Scoopage.
Well, I know, I have it on good authority that there is a certain little microphone that is being debuted, or at least talked about, a prototype from Roswell Pro Audio. And it's an interesting microphone, not necessarily for voiceover, but it's a microphone that is flat all the way up to around 3 kilohertz and then rolls off. Okay, so yeah, now this would be for people who are interested in, recording music or anything like that. Drum room mics it's fantastic for that. Bass cabs, stuff like that. It's something that they've got a prototype of, and I heard through the channels that they were going to be debuting that. So that's a little tidbit that I understand.
Wow, that's pretty interesting. See, there is such a lack of we've pretty much hit the ceiling in terms of microphone development. It's like what can you really do with microphones? Lewitt is trying consistently to try to add a gimmick to a microphone and then sell us the same microphone, the same capsule and circuit with a different gimmick on it. And every year they do that, and every year it comes out, and people are like, "Ooh, look at that! Ooh, look at this microphone! It can tell me it knows how far away I am." From it. Yeah. And people talk about it for like a few weeks, and then it disappears, and then nobody ever talks about it again. It never becomes like a real thing. It's like the gimmick of the month. So I'm sure that they will be unveiling another gimmicky-driven microphone that nobody will care about.
So. Of course, you know what? That's something I had written actually down. Is they're going to have a gimmicks? Lewitt's going to do a gimmick thing. Yeah, of course they are.
There's no doubt, and let alone the aesthetics of their designs are terrible. I mean, it really looks like they're trying to make everything boxy and ugly on purpose, to have a look. I agree.
I totally agree.
Yeah, they look like movie props, like from like that what was it that interface that they had that looked like some kind of toy playset that you would buy that looked like a spaceship controller, for like 4-year-olds, for toddlers, like a busy station,
Yeah.
But my all right. So my scoopage this is what I heard, is that Soyuz, they're not going to be showing anything new, but that they will have some prototypes under the table. So if you're at Namm and you get to the Soyuz booth, ask them, right? So go ask Mark at Soyuz. Say, hey, what are the prototypes? What are the secret prototypes under the table? Because they're expanding their offerings based upon some of the stuff they have. I promised I wouldn't say any more than that, but so they have stuff coming, and if you want to see it, you have to have the secret handshake or something like that. So
everybody knows that you have to have the secret handshake. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, which you put a 20 in there, and I'm sure they will just palm that 20 and. No, I'm not saying bribe anybody.
Slip them a 5.
So, okay. So we have talked about what we expect to see, what we hope to see, but what do you think are going to be some of the biggest disappointments at Namm?
So disappointments, or at least, I think that the disappointments for me would be, I wrote down 2 ideas about this because I was thinking, what would I be disappointed with? Number 1 is the prices. Everything's going to be ridiculously priced. That's the first thing. People are going to say, oh, that's something I would buy. Oh, it's $33,000. Okay, then I'm not going to get it. And the other thing is, what else is going to be disappointing? Everything's going to be disappointing because people are terrible.
I couldn't agree more. The year I went to Namm, I only went because I had a friend of mine who worked at Sony. I don't think he works there anymore. He was like coming into town, and I was like, all right, I'll come down there and I will endure Namm to see that and see a couple other people I knew. But it sucks. I mean, it really sucks going to Namm, and I think that the expectation is that you're walking in and it's going to be like this museum-like experience of awe. And it's just you're pummeled with sound, like super loud, just cacophony everywhere. And, not a lot of companies are really are showing stuff. The biggest disappointment to me is that when I reached out to a bunch of people that I knew, a majority, and when I say majority, I mean like pretty much everybody except like 2 people basically said, we're not showing anything in Namm. And because Namm isn't as important as it used to be in the era before social media. You can debut your product anytime, and the industry will notice. People will notice. It used to be that you had to go to Namm, and the music press basically would cover it. And when I say music press, it's not Namm isn't necessarily for the public. Namm is for buyers to see what is available from manufacturers and distributors. But the public is allowed in because there's such a great deal of interest, and then they sell, twice as many tickets. So, Namm, like most trade shows, exists to make money. Trade shows make money. Namm itself must be profitable in the millions of dollars. These companies pay tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands for these giant booths. People pay to get in. They get a cut of the, vendors. You buy a Coke for $4. The venue probably gets $1.50. So it's like it's a profit game. So
Yeah. Well, of course it is. With $12. I was reading. Was it $12 waters or something like that?
Yeah.
$17 bottles of water and anthrax to go with it.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that if you are expecting to have your mind blown at Namm, don't just, there's going to be, I don't think there's going to be, if there's anything, it'll be like one thing, right?
Yeah.
But if you're expecting Universal Audio to finally unveil the new generation of their DSP-enabled stuff with new chips, that's never going to happen. They've hit a wall with that. That's never, ever going to happen. So the Apollo will never evolve beyond what it currently does. It'll just have more gewgaws attached to it, like monitor control, whatever it is. Basically, they'll just add more software, but it's not going to do anything more.
SonarWorks.
Yeah.
Yeah, the reference ID built in.
Exactly. So, so I do think it's going to be overall pretty disappointing. All right, so let's wrap this up real quick. All right, give me a last rumor here. Give me something.
I can tell you something that I think is a rumor, but I also have a couple of facts. I think it's the biggest thing that I think is coming out that's going to happen. There is a new company out of the UK, and they're called Z&H Designs. And they are just cranking out some. So as we know, audio companies aren't doing, anything new. They're not. They're just doing old stuff cheaper. And that's okay. So the idea with Z&H is just like a lot of the other companies. They're going to just try to, LA2As, LA3As, they're going to try to reproduce some of these old favorites, but for way less money. And apparently they're doing an amazing job. They've got a ton of gear. Like they've got these 500 series, the V12, which is an API preamp kind of deal. And they're called V12s. They come in 3 colors. They're going to be unveiling them for sure.
Wow.
I say Z&H is going to be one of those new Clark Technic, better than Clark Technic, cheaper than Clark Technic, and it's going to be one of those companies that people are going to hear a lot about in the future.
Yeah, I think that there's absolutely room for that. If you look at what they did with the 76 KT and dropping the price of that to $149. I mean, come on. That's ridiculous. That's a price so low. I almost was tempted to buy one just to put it in my rack because it looks cool, and but that thought passed. But I mean, it did cross my mind. It's so cheap that you would buy it. It's, but I think that there's definitely a big market for that for modern manufacturing of vintage gear, because all that vintage gear is really, they're all simple circuits and easy to replicate. And and there's a certain point at which people are like, hey, it does what an 1176 does. It does what a 1073 does. It doesn't necessarily sound like the real thing, but it does enough of what it does that bang for your buck is high. So I think that's going to be I think that's going to be big. I agree. My last bit of scoopage is that I found out that Vanguard will be coming out with the Gen 2 version of their pencil mic, the V1. So
Ooh.
yeah, so they are they have been slowly like just really making their stuff better over time. You know, it's like they're a small boutique company, and they don't really. Derek over there is there's not a whole lot of people there, and I think Derek is really committed to making his stuff better. But it's not like they have the budget to do it all in like 1 week, so it's going to happen over time.
Ah.
So overall, all right, what are our takeaways here from Namm? And eh.
And a little bit of right? And also
Yeah. And just
Yeah.
maybe some
Yeah.
and just a little side dish of
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed our Namm special. We're going to do this again after Namm and see how close we were and talk about anything that may have. I'm hoping for surprises, but I'm not expecting any. Oh, oh my! One thing I heard. Oh, this is the last bit of scoopage. One thing I heard is not going to be at Namm, but there's an American company that is building an all USA version. They're basically their Soyuz 017 Fett killer. It's not going to be at Namm. They're showing it to influential studios and people in Nashville, but they basically tuned this thing going after the 017 Fett. But again, it's all American made and it's going to be a lot less expensive than the Soyuz.
Wow.
So I'm hoping to find out more about that in the weeks to come.
I'm in on that. I'm all in.
Yeah, and you know what? And they didn't feel like they had to go Namm. So there you go. All right. So any last words here?
Well, I think that we're going to be right. That's what I say. My money's on that. A lot of the things that we speculated on, the rumors and stuff. I think we're going to be pretty on the money. But I've been wrong before. Not often, but
I mean, I wouldn't mind being wrong. I'm hoping that there's something, but I'm feeling that overall at Namm, there probably will not be anything that I will be willing to open my wallet up for. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, it is a good thing, I think.
So yeah, all of your wallets are safe this year for Namm. If you're into VO, if you're into synths or stuff like that, then hey, get your credit limit extended now. Get ready for those pre-orders. But for the rest of us, we can sleep easy.
Exactly.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us for our Namm special.
We appreciate it.
I have been here with the Recordist, and it has been a pleasure. So we will catch you all after Namm, and hopefully we will be right. So
or wrong, whatever.
All right, bye-bye now. Bye-bye.
Bye.